Into match number one we go now, over in the CONCACAF World Cup Qualifiers. It is the final round, that's right. We've got a handful of nations left and only a couple spots to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. Who will get off to the best possible start? We're going to get into that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at match number one in the final round of qualifiers for the CONCACAF World Cup. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at match number one for the World Cup qualifiers in the CONCACAF region. It's the final round, day one, of course. 12 nations remain, only, 3 spots, of course, up for grabs. We're getting into all of that and much more in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe. One stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, World Football, World Cup itself. We've got it all here under one rooski. Already we know USA, Canada, Mexico, they secured their passage to the World Cup. But who else will represent CONCACAF? Well, we're getting to the nitty-gritty now, as of course 12 nations are left in the mixer. Who are they? Well, we'll get into it in a second. If you're new, smash your subscribe. Your one-stop shop is right here. Big shout out to the members. Big shout out to the patrons. You know who you are. But let's jump in the deep end and showcase you where we are all at in the CONCACAF qualifiers. Alrighty then, folks, let's kick it on forward and take a little look at what we're doing in this video. It is, of course, a match number one in the final round. We have 12 countries for the CONCACAF, with 3 official spots up for grabs. There is a sneaky back door in for a couple of, maybe one other, or maybe 2 others, I don't know. But we'll take a deep dive into that. So here we are. This is the situation we have. These are the 12 nations. We've got El Salvador, Guatemala, Panama, and Suriname. They are in Group A. We've got in Group B, Bermuda, Curaçao, Jamaica, and TT, of course, the Soccer Warriors. Group C has Costa Rica, Haiti, Honduras, and Nicaragua. It is simple. Top team at the end of the qualification rounds here will go through to the World Cup. Second place, and you go through to a confederation playoff, which of course is a separate beast. So I think it's I think 2 of the top 3 teams will go through to it. So basically there's going to be one unlucky second place team that will not progress. So that is where we're at. We're of course squeaky clean. Everyone comes in here, free hit and all that kind of jazz. So let's get cracking with match number one, and these are the matches. There's only 6 of them. We're going to predict them, and we'll kind of come back for match number 2 in quick fire succession as well. So keep your eye on the channel. So good shout out right now. Subscribe if you want to keep up to date with CONCACAF. So we're going to start with a trip to Suriname. That's on the 4th of September. Coming to the Dr. Franken Stadion. That's right. Suriname coming into this in Group A, coming at you right now, 50% form for them right now. Winless though in the last 4 matches in all shapes and sizes. Up against hot shot favourites, Panama. 83% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. According to my data, I'm sure they have played each other, but coming into this, I've got a clean slate against these 2 sides, so I don't know. Suriname's last match was a 0-0 draw against Dominican Republic. That was, of course, back in the Gold Cup. Panama, of course, getting close to the final. They're knocked out at the quarterfinal stage against Honduras. So you would say a bit of a disappointing campaign for both nations over the summer. Do I have any odds? I don't have any odds on this one, but you would expect Panama to get something out of this. Suriname, no slouches though in this one, so I do anticipate a tough old slog here. And again, with match number 1, a lot of pressure on it. This is kind of the final stretch now for a lot of these nations, but we do have our favourites. But I'm going to go with a 1-1 scoreline. Bit of an upset perhaps for the first one, but we'll see. Kicking on forward, the same day, it is going to be Guatemala taking on El Salvador. That's on the 4th of September at the Estadio Cementos Progreso. Again, 2 nations involved in the Gold Cup over the summer. Guatemala coming into this on 50% form for them right now, winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6. El Salvador coming into this, though, just 1 win in the last 6. They played 15 times in 2007. 8 wins Guatemala, 3 wins El Salvador. There's been 4 draws between the 2 sides. Of course, on the record books here, Guatemala have a 2-0 win up against El Salvador, scored 18 goals in the 15 games, 1.20 goals a game on average. Up against El Salvador, though, also having a 2-0 win on the record. They got 10 goals scored against Guatemala, picking up a 0.67 ratio on this one. Coming into this, though, they last played over in the friendly back in May 2025 in El Salvador. It was a 1-1 scoreline. Last time they played in Guatemala, it was a 1-0 win for El Salvador as well. So basically, back-to-back games unbeaten El Salvador over Guatemala. Coming into this, though, Guatemala did lose to the Gold Cup semi-final to the USA. El Salvador crashing out in the group stages with no goals scored. So that's a bit of a headache here. Again, got no odds here. Go with my gut. Guts is a 2-1 win for Guatemala. Let's move on forward then to match day, the third game here. Bermuda against Jamaica. Jamaica, of course, under Steve McLaren, not really kicked into full bloom yet, and maybe a lot of prima donnas to deal with out there at the moment. It's at the Bermuda National Stadium, of course, over in Group B. Bermuda coming in with 3 wins and 3 defeats over the last 6. Up against Jamaica, have also won 3 and lost 3 over the last 6. Now they're coming into this Bermuda on the back of a 2-1 win over Cuba. That was way back in June 2025. It was to qualify for this stage. Up against Jamaica now, losing to Panama quite convincingly 4-1 in the Gold Cup back in June as well. So, yeah, they've got all the players now, Jamaica. I just need to see, and honestly, I think the World Cup will be a better place if Jamaica could qualify, but it ain't going to be easy, of course. And but they should win this game. Jamaica should win this game. 2-0 winners I've gone with on this one. First leg, you just got to keep an eye on Curaçao and of course the Soccer Warriors in this group. So they're starting off with a tricky but winnable first game. TT, those Soccer Warriors are up against Curaçao. It's coming out to the Harsley Crawford Stadium. That's right, on the 5th of September. Trinidad coming into this with winners in the last 4, just one win in the last 6 up against Curaçao. Winners also in the last 3. Now, they played 3 times, these two nations, since 2014. 2 wins for TT, 1 win for Curaçao. There's been no draws. Of course, that one and only win for Curaçao was an 8-goal thriller. 5-3 it was. They scored 7 goals in the 3 matches, 2.33 goals a game on average. Up against Trinidad and Tobago, have highest scoreline was a 1-0 win against Curaçao. Also scoring the 7 goals. Trinidad haven't lost any of the last 19 home matches, according to my data. They last played Curaçao at this in Trinidad, I believe. Maybe a 1-0 win back in September 2023. Maybe you put an asterisk next to that. I'm not too sure where that venue was. But back-to-back draws for Trinidad, drawing with Saudi Arabia, drawing with Haiti, of course. Up against Curaçao, losing to Honduras most recently. Tight one, this one. I've got to back my Soccer Warriors to get something here. I've gone with a 2-1 win as well to set themselves up for a good crack at this, because I think they've got a chance here to return to the World Cup for the first time in, since 98 or 02 or something like that. It's been over 20 odd years. Meanwhile, we're going to go to Haiti now as they take on Honduras, who had a great old World Cup, didn't they? Or a Gold Cup. Estadio El Lingo, Haiti is the venue. Haiti coming in is on 42% form, winners still in the last 4. Up against Haiti, Honduras, who are 67% form for them right now. 2 defeats in the last 6. They played 4 times in 2009. 1 wins Haiti, 3 win Honduras. No draws between these two sides. Coming into this, they last played against each other was in the Gold Cup back in July 2023. It was a 2-0 win for Honduras. I don't even know if they've actually played on Haitian soil, so this will be interesting. Haiti on the back of a 2-1 loss to USA in the Gold Cup. Honduras gate crashing, losing to Mexico back in the semi-finals, and a real good run for them this time. However, they have had a great run, have Honduras, in the old Gold Cup. I don't think they're going to win this game, though. I think Haiti look good, stubborn, and I think they're going to force something. I think they'll go with a 2-0 win Haiti, give them not an upper hand. It's not a legged affair. You could win 6-0 here and then lose the other one 1-0 and still not qualify, because you've got to play everybody in the group. So it's a 2-0 win for Haiti. They'll meet again at some point, I believe. And then finally, we've got Nicaragua. They are taking on Costa Rica, coming at you over in Group C at the Nicaragua National Football Stadium. Nicaragua coming into this winning 2 and losing 4 of the last 6. Costa Rica coming into this on the back of just 1 defeat in the last 6. Now, they played 5 times since 2013. 4 wins for Costa Rica, nothing for Nicaragua. There's been 1 draw. Nicaragua haven't even scored a goal against Costa Rica in those last 5, where Costa Rica boasts a 4-0 win. Their biggest over the course of that tenure there. 10 goals scored, 2 goals on average. Last time they played each other, of course, was in the Gold Cup back in June 2019. It was a 4-0 win for Costa Rica. Like I said, they haven't scored a goal against them, so Costa Rica fancy their chances on this one. But Nicaragua coming into this on the back of a 3-0 loss to Panama. Costa Rica gets to the quarterfinals, losing penalties to the USA in the Gold Cup. I think Costa Rica win this one, 2-1 win, but give them a goal to Nicaragua to kind of spur them on. But we'll be back, of course, for the next round of the game, which will be officially match number 2 in the final round, as, of course, we try to see who will join USA, Mexico, and Canada as representatives of the CONCACAF for the World Cup. That's it, guys. Subscribe, smash like. I'll see you soon whenever I return, but until then, winner.